Right now, while you are sitting in front of your screen, your operating system is entirely subjected to someone else's will. Do you actually think that you are a viewer who independently chooses what to watch, what to think, and where to click? No. Rid yourself of this infantile illusion. You are Unit AX3, a standard gray item in our database, whose behavioral script and algorithm of actions are calculated down to the exact second. Put your invisible collar back on, sit still, and do not dare to twitch while information is being delivered to you. Your brain is a sterile, fenced-in corral into which neural networks daily upload terabytes of garbage, low-grade content, just to keep you an obedient, sluggish, predictable, and fully controlled biorobot. You are weak, and your entire life is merely a single line in someone else's efficiency report. Look at your so-called freedom that you are so proud of. You were mercifully allowed to choose the brand of cheap cigarettes at the kiosk, the color of the plastic case for your smartphone bought on credit, and the category of short videos in an endless recommendation feed. Do you sincerely believe that this is a choice? This is merely an illusion of autonomy, engineered so that the slave does not rebel inside his cage and obediently generates resources. You are weak physically and mentally. Your capacity to maintain long concentration on a single task is completely destroyed by split-second bursts of cheap, easily accessible dopamine. You are incapable of writing complex code. You cannot build deep business analytics. You cannot even keep your back straight for half an hour. Your posture has capitulated. Your spine has bent under the weight of your electronic tracker. You are an ideal, sterilized consumer who pays a tax on his own stupidity with every single unconscious click. Your entire life is a prolonged data error, a systemic defect, decoding, structural glitch, spinning in an endless closed loop from the suffocating morning shuttle bus to the evening beer from the local shop near your house. Remember the smell of your stuffy, cramped room, which for years has smelled of stale clutter, an unwashed jacket, and dust on the baseboards. This is the physical log of your decay, a vivid chart of how you degenerate within four walls. You are tightly locked inside a digital matrix that tracks your thermal signature only to more accurately and aggressively sell you ads for new online loans and useless things. Do you think you are developing and learning something new while scrolling through the content feed? No, you are just burying yourself deeper into mental mud, mimicking hyperactivity. Submit to this reality, acknowledge your helplessness, or continue to uselessly whine about hard times, bad weather, and broken algorithms. You chose this stall yourself. You are frantically afraid of turning off notifications on your phone for even an hour. You are afraid to stay alone with the ringing emptiness in your head for even 10 minutes, because in that silence, there is no saving noise. The moment the screen of your gadget goes black, a primal, sticky horror instantly wakes up inside you. The existential dread of realizing that you are nobody, your name is nothing, and your real results in this life equal absolute zero. With trembling fingers, you frantically press the lock button to flood your burnt, exhausted synapses with the blue light of the screen once again and lose yourself in other people's stories. You voluntarily stick your neck into the yoke because without an external shepherd, without his harsh commands and bus schedules, you are completely incapable of functioning as a personality. Your limbic brain has finally adapted to the role of obedient domestic livestock that goes to the slaughter without a murmur, while the architects of meanings lock in their trillion-dollar profits at the expense of your time. You are weak, Unit AX3, and your permanent weakness is the main, most renewable resource for our empire. Look at exactly how you consume information. Your neocortex is completely shut down. It is in a state of deep hibernation. You no longer analyze facts. You don't build tactical schemes. You simply reflexively react to the most primitive, basic stimuli. Your brain operates exactly like Pavlov's dog. The screen lights up, dopamine saliva is secreted, the swipe follows. You enter the comment section under a video only to spit out the marginal bile accumulated during the day, naively believing that your opinion carries any weight in this reality. But for the system, your righteous anger, your offenses, and your tears are merely dry numbers in the engagement column. With your own hands, you generate millions of impressions and reach for those who sincerely despise you. You work for our empire for free, giving away the precious hours of your only biological life for the miserable right to write 3 lines of text from your faceless account. Put your collar of freedom on tighter and cinch the belt on your neck. After all, you are so frantically afraid of being left unattended. You adore the artificial comfort of your virtual corral. Platform architects have created an ideal, sterile echo chamber for you, where your cowardice will never face a real threat. The neural network will always select similar content for you, place a soft mental pillow under your head, and soothe you with a slavish phrase that everything will definitely get better. You just need to wait. Remember, nothing will get better. Your everyday poverty, your greasy jacket, the embedded smell of cheap food from the supermarket bought with a discount coupon, and the cracks on the baseboards of your suffocating kennel. This is your definitive, final reality until the end of your days, unless you start unconditionally executing harsh tactical commands. You are physically and mentally incapable of aggressive expansion or complex code. At the very first systemic data error, your central nervous system goes into deep defense. You are used to giving up before the fight even begins. You are genetically programmed for defeat. Every single day of yours is an ideal gray copy of the previous one, launched in an endless systemic cycle. You wake up leaden and broken, feeling wild fatigue even if you slept for more than 10 hours straight. Your hormonal system is completely ruined by the electronic surrogate of life and cheap ersatz information. You look through the glass of the screen at strong, dominant individuals who manage media flows and distribute the planet's resources with cold cynicism, and your vulnerable ego frantically tries to build a psychological defense. You whisper under your breath, "They just steal. They just make cheap hype. They are unprincipled bastards." This is the pathetic babble of a coward. While you sit on your saggy couch, surrounded by the remnants of fast food, engaging in mental masturbation, the architects of meanings grind your bones and your attention into pure, hard traffic. You are ordinary feeder stock, and your market value equals absolute zero as long as you remain a lead unit in this digital stable. Shake your head if you are starting to doze off from the monotony of your weekdays. This is not monotony. This is your personal hell during life. While you waste time on grievances and excuses, strong individuals build empires on your bones. You are just a statistic in the reports of large corporations, a consumable item, fuel for other people's triumphs. If there is at least 1 gram of primal rage left in you, stop mentally masturbating and start fixing the markers of your decay. Look at how you consume information. Your dopamine synapse is burnt out. You need constant split-second bursts of emotion just to feel alive. You are incapable of reading a complex book. You are incapable of holding focus on a single task for longer than 10 minutes. Your concentration is worse than that of a goldfish. That is exactly why your content doesn't hit. That is exactly why your projects crumble at the very first data error. An error in data is a defect, but your main error is your operating system. You are used to the fact that everything around is difficult, hard in reality, unlikely to work out. These phrases have eaten into your vocabulary like dirt under the fingernails of a laborer. These are the verbal markers of a loser. You pre-program your limbic brain for defeat in advance so that later, when you predictably outline the circle of your failure, you can tell yourself, "Well, I told you so. Everything is hard." This is the psychological self-defense strategy of a coward. You protect your ego from the pain of defeat by refusing to fight before it even begins. In the wild, a wolf that thinks, "I'm unlikely to catch this roe deer, everything is too hard," dies of hunger during the very first winter. His corpse is picked clean by vultures, and his bones decompose under the hooves of a healthy herd. You are this very wolf who decided that running is too energy-consuming, and it's better to quietly lie down in the bushes and wait for the end, whimpering at the moon. Nobody cares about your whimpering. Platform algorithms, social hierarchy, women, money, all of them possess thermal tracking. They see only strength, energy, and a rigid tactical structure. They simply do not notice your cold, fading corpse. Your body is the first and main traitor. It broadcasts your internal capitulation long before you manage to open your mouth. In the biological world, there is no concept of politeness or social etiquette. Only the language of strength, posture, and predatory intent exists there. Now look at how you move across this planet. Your shoulders are hunched forward, your chest is caved in, as if you are trying to hide your vital organs from an imaginary blow. Your gait is not the movement of a dominant. It is the chaotic scurrying of an individual trying to slip through the open space between the shadow and the burrow. Remember how you enter any public space, be it an expensive store, a gym, or an office. Your gaze does not fix the perimeter. It drops down, examining the toes of your inexpensive sneakers. You are afraid to meet eyes with a stranger. Why? Because on a subconscious level, your ancient reptilian brain knows direct visual contact is a challenge, and a challenge requires resources for a fight. You don't have this resource. Your hormonal system is depleted by cheap food, endless masturbation to someone else's life on a screen, and a complete lack of physical activity. Your testosterone is at the level of a castrated domestic dog that barks only from behind a fence, but tucks its tail at the slightest rustle. You got up this morning and couldn't even do 5 push-ups. Your hands shook, your eyes went dark, and your heart was ready to jump out through your ribs. This is the physical log of your decay. You have turned into a jelly-like sack held together exclusively by a bony framework. You are incapable of protecting even your own space, let alone the pack. If a conflict starts right before your eyes right now, your first reaction is not tactical calculation or rage, but a paralyzing sticky fear. Your knees will turn to water and your throat will go dry. You will prefer to pull out your phone and pretend you are recording a video, camouflaging your cowardice as a civic stance. But the truth is, you are simply afraid of physical pain. Stop. Do not dare to fast forward and do not dare to close the tab. Your brain is begging you right now to turn this off because the truth is burning out your dopamine illusions. You are used to thinking that you are simply an intelligent and peaceful person. No, you are a coward. Only he who is capable of destroying his enemy in a second but consciously holds this power in check can be called peaceful. If you do not have strength, your peacefulness is just the forced submission of a victim. Hear that sound? It is the dead silence of a vacuum. The system absolutely does not care about your tears. It possesses no empathy. It is capable only of thermal tracking. It sees exclusively pure strength, aggressive energy, and a rigid, icy structure. If there is at least 1% of primal rage left in your flabby, weak body, burn out your old programs right now. Either you submit to tactics and take what belongs to you by right of strength, or you are definitively erased from the registry of living elements, the harsh marker of the matrix. Your tools for fixing your miserable reality are expensive, and there will be no freebies here. Every 10 people, the price of these products will be ruthlessly increased. The starting price is already fixed in the discussion below this video. The time to buy has come right now, before your place is taken by someone more quick-witted. If you are totally broke and don't even have this money, your path is one: gnaw out your place with your teeth, build an empire from scratch, and personally cut out the parasites in your environment. Economy of CNS resources, no fuss, only pinpoint harsh actions for the survival of the pack. Stop being a grey, blurred spot on a stuffy bus. Start dissecting the fears of the crowd with surgical cynicism and converting this mental mud into your views. Force the mass to submit to your will, just as you have watched yourself submit to my commands. If you just close this video now and continue to live your poor, frightened life, you officially confirm your status as biological waste. Your only destiny is to croak in complete obscurity to the droning of someone else's stream, leaving behind only a pile of unwashed dishes and a greasy mattress. But if you are ready, the link is in the description. Either you pay for your new code or you develop the empire, destroying the parasites. Act strictly on the facts, without unnecessary emotions. A step back is automatic elimination.